Alright, guys, welcome back to A Song or Story a Day. It's me, A Song or Story a Day. I mean, technically, I'm not A Song or Story a Day, but, it's the name of the channel. And so I guess that's a good way to introduce myself. I guess it's probably more appropriate to say, welcome to the channel of A Song or Story a Day, and I'm here presenting, that content, if I can even really call this content. Today, again, I just have a bit of a short story. I know I've been at it with stories for a while, and I keep saying that I've got songs ready, just not performing them. But in part, I to be completely frank, I just really don't want to sing right now, and that's mostly just because my voice is still not in the greatest state, and I'm pretty sure anything that I sing would be lower quality than even usual, but more importantly, I don't want to risk damaging my throat more. And I actually have a pretty good story about that now that I've mentioned it, but maybe I'm going to tell it next time because I've already chosen the story for today and I can't really change it. Well, I could change it, so maybe I will. It's going to have nothing to do with what I've drawn, so maybe I'll have to replace that drawing at some point. I don't really know. I was going to tell you a different story, and it had to do with me being in a crib. I'm going to just talk about that story very briefly, not the story itself, but the drawing, just for a moment, because as you can tell, I had to put the words crib up there because I didn't think anyone would be able to figure out what that was if I didn't. It kind of looks like a jail cell, or it looks like a weird bed, or I just don't think anyone would have guessed crib, or at least not the majority of people. Or even if it is the majority of people that guess it's a crib, I still think there'd be some confusion. But you know what? I'm going to tell a completely different story now that has nothing to do with the crib, and you'll have to just wait until next time for, the crib story. And I'll probably do the new drawing that has to do with this video next time. And anyways, you know what? I'm sure it's going to be fun and exciting and confusing for everyone involved. But for now, I'm going to tell you the singing story. You see, I used to sing all the time, even when I was sick, and it was never really that much of a problem. I mean, I would do it because I really liked singing, and I remember this one time. So I do these. Well, not I do these. I used to do these singing exercises. One is called a vocal ease. You can get that on any app. It's not free because I felt like I had to pay for something for it to really be valuable. Anyways, more on that later. I got this app and I was practicing, and I actually noticed improvements in my singing, my control, and all these great things. And at some point, I noticed I was hitting higher and higher notes, and it was more consistent, and it sounded better. And golly gee, was I ever excited. Anyways, that's all besides the point. What happened one day was, I was fairly sick. Like, not super sick. It was sick enough, and this was way pre COVID. We're talking like years ago. And I was at work, and I remember coming back home. I was sort of singing on the way to the car. I was singing while I was driving, and even though I was pretty sick, my voice was kind of not my voice. My throat was kind of sore. I was really putting into practice the skills that I had learned, and I was hitting these notes that I never thought I'd be able to hit, and I was just so excited and singing at the top of my lungs, and I absolutely loved it. And then what happened was about 2 days later, I woke up and I had lost my voice. I had completely lost my voice. It's the first time it's ever happened to me. The first time it had ever happened to me, rather. And it was the scariest thing I had ever experienced. Like, I couldn't make a sound. I was unable to make sounds. Or like, I could make sounds, but it wouldn't be like talking sounds. It'd be like, I was so freaked out. I was like, oh my god, am I going to lose my voice? And then I became like progressively sicker. Like, I don't know if maybe I don't know what happened, if like my throat got infected or something, because it got to the point where my fever had like spiked to like 1 billion. I felt like absolute garbage. I couldn't do anything, and it was probably one of the not the scariest times of my life. I wasn't that scared about it, but I was certainly very concerned and worried. I was not having a good time, and ever since then, I had decided that I wasn't going to. I mean, essentially, that I wasn't going to sing while I was sick anymore. It just wasn't a good idea, clearly. And I mean, that's why I try not to sing when I'm sick. I'm not going to say I don't do it at all. I still do. But I try my best not to push my voice because I'm just afraid the same thing will happen, that I'll lose my voice or something terrible will happen in that vein. And so I don't do that anymore. And that's why I'm not singing these songs. Even though I know it's not going to put too much strain or pressure on my voice, I just don't want to risk it again. And I think that's just because of that one bad experience. On a side note, I had a friend once who was also quite sick, and I had told her, you know, like, don't sing when you're sick. It's going to be really bad for your voice. And she absolutely refused to listen to me. And she made up this song. She sang it, and by the end, her voice was completely ragged. Like, she could barely talk. And so I'm not the only person who's had this experience. Okay, it's real. I keep telling people, like, don't sing when you're sick. Like, it's gonna ruin your voice. And no one trusts me. That's not true. Many people trust me, but of those who haven't trusted me, they've learned the hard way that if you sing when you're sick, you lose your voice, and then that's it. You know, some say that my voice has never come back, and that to this day I'm still unable to speak. Um, yeah, it's real serious stuff. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I know that drawing had nothing to do with this video whatsoever, but the next video's drawing is also going to have nothing to do with that video, because the drawing for next video is going to be for this video, and the drawing for this video that I drew this time is going to be for the next video. You get it? Got what I mean? We're good? Alright, I'll see you next time. Thanks for joining.